Hello everybody, and welcome back to the show. Now I have to apologize for being a little bit of a neckbeardy side today. Looking kind of dirty and ugly, I don't know. But whatever, sometimes you're dealt with a hand and you just gotta, yeah, I don't know, roll with it. So today, welcome back to the show. Today, I have a little bit of a different idea. Usually I talk about something I already have a more or less some sort of opinion on. Whereas today, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience that is very recent and that I haven't quite formed any sort of proper opinion on yet, but that I am in the process of forming. So, what is it that I wanted to talk about today? There is this concept that I've been thinking about for a while. I think I mentioned it once or twice, just a little bit, of personality, of like individuality or more, something like that, in the context of the culture, the internet culture of what is known, as I already referred in the beginning, like neckbeards, incels, nice guys. Well, incels to a lesser degree. They are more a part of this general thing than a specific example. But here, the nice guys are like in the middle of the spotlight for what I'm talking here. It's that the quote is on the internet that being a nice guy is not a personality. Like you are supposed to have some sort of personality if you want other people to be interested in you, be it the partners, potential partners, or just friends, or really anything. And in my recent experience, I found that this is not quite always true. I think that there is a joke about this entire nice guy phenomena. Get the hell out of here, you stupid mosquito. About this entire nice guy phenomena that actually has a lot more to it than it initially seems. With the nice guys, it is common to say that only their mom actually thinks they're nice. Well, except for them. And that, I think, it hits on the spot. It just nails it. I recently visited my family, and with them, what I noticed, because for a long time I've been living alone, but with them, I noticed that for some reason, somehow, I didn't have to be an individual. They were just, with them, I could just tell them stories that happened to me, and that was more or less enough. See here, I'm not even sure why and how that is, but I did notice that I didn't have to be a person, which is weird, because I don't quite understand what exactly is this thing, what exactly is being a person in this context. But it felt weird. It felt that how do I even put it? I don't even know. Like the word animalistic comes to mind. That I just had to exist in order to be valuable. Which is interesting because, these days there's a lot of, what do you call it? What's the word? Validation, yeah. There's a lot of talk about being valid just because you exist, like you are valid. I don't know. I haven't looked into that phenomena entirely, but from my perspective from the outside, it does seem kind of weird that people would need validation by anybody except themselves. But I guess I am individualistic in that manner, so I don't know. And also, I guess it is related to the what's the guy name? Hegelian dialectic of like master and slave, and his entire idea that we only see ourselves reflected in others, which is a very good point. But it's more complicated than just like I want validation from others. it's just also much more complex. But today perhaps is not the time to talk about it. I want maybe that the dialectic would give some clues for understanding of this weird lack of personality and validation thing that I'm talking about, but I don't feel like it. Maybe when I explore it at some point I'll figure it out, but I don't think that that's the right direction to take here. It may have something to do with it, but I don't think it's the main thing. Initially, I think that if I want to understand what my experience exactly was, damn mosquitoes, I'll eat your ass, like Alex Jones. Eat your ass. They'll eat my ass. If I want to understand what my experience is, I need to understand this concept of personality that I'm talking about. The thing that I said I didn't have to be when I was home. And I'm not quite sure what that is. I just I guess I didn't have I guess I didn't have to have an opinion. I just had to exist. But that's a weird way to put it. I'm not sure if that's like a valid thing. Maybe the Hegelian dialectic and like his entire idea that we only understand ourselves through others, maybe that does have more to do with it. Because it feels to me like what I experienced was that I didn't have to situate myself within a society of other people. That I just had to, like, quote unquote, like, be myself, but not in a good way, but just have some history, have something to say, and not necessarily like be part of the discourse, be part of the like intellectual sphere, don't have opinions about shit. I don't know. I see here. That's not as easy as I thought it would be, you know. Usually when I go on and I just want to ramble about shit, it's much easier. But here, I just can't catch it. What? There are some things like that. You feel like you know the shit, but it's just illusory. It just escapes you, you know. And it takes much more time. But what was it? What was it? I do like this notion that I brought up, that maybe it's they not having to be situated within a society kind of thing, because at home I did experience that, like, we are a very isolationist, individualistic family, if you can even say it in that way. Like, we never quite have a lot of people at our home. We don't really engage with anybody, which is like me. Like, that's kind of how I am, but I engage with society in more abstract levels. My brothers are different from me in this, but they organize their own lives. So, you know, it's not something that you can't say that I'm like that because of my family. No, we are different, but we were brought up in the same family. But that's still irrelevant. Like, what was that at home? Why did I feel I guess I could try and take a look at a capitalistic spin of the narrative. And in the capitalist framework, I guess, I would have to say that at home I didn't have to be productive. It's something that I always struggle with, because the world demands you to be productive, to like make something. Just exist is not an option. You have to exist and not even convince others that you are something, but get them to pay you. That may be the thing. Like, capitalism stimulates you to be a something because it forces you out of the comfort of just existence out there to do some sort of work to exist. And we all have to go ahead and evaluate our, like, what kind of work are we willing to do. Like, maybe you are willing to scrub the toilets, maybe not. Maybe you are willing, like, for example, to do office work, which is, like, that's the scariest thing for me, I guess, because it's just so boring, you know. When I saw the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I think it's part 2, but basically the main character, Newt Scamander, his greatest fear is revealed to be office work, and I'm like, damn, that's me. Part 2, not good. Don't watch it. I mean, watch it, but I don't think it's, I don't know, it's gonna, Part 1 though is brilliant. It's very good. Part 2, it felt like there was too much sugar and very little actual substance. But regardless of all that, That may be a good spin on that. But I have to understand, I have to reevaluate my initial feelings, because my original feelings when I came home and then I returned back were that it's not good for you, that this lack of personality kind of thing, I dubbed it that way, is not good for you, and you should strive to avoid that state. And if we accept the capitalistic spin on this entire framework, then I'll have to say, well, it's actually not that it's not good for you, it's just not good for you, like, in the capitalistic way. Like, you're not getting anything out of it. Like, you still exist, you're just not, like, it's not, what do you call it? What's the word? Damn it! Can't remember it. Use, maximum utility. Yeah, it's not utilitarian. There you go. It does not maximize utility, which is a way you can go with, and I can get behind. Like, that's something that does not maximize utility. That's something that you have to keep in mind. But then the value judgment is stripped from it, because utility is, for me, is value neutral. Like, you can, some things that maximize, like, that increase your utility are negative. Some things like value negative, value positive as well. Some things are value positive, but in general it's just what helps you to survive, I guess. So that is another look. We can do like a Hegelian, Hegelian. There you go. Pronunciation, man. We can do, or we can do a capitalistic one. But both of these feel incomplete. I don't even know. What else can it be? My initial hunch was to call it the lack of personality. By personality, I implied that I didn't. I found a different approach. Not necessarily personality as in the state of an individual, but maybe personality as in, like, growth, dynamics, like, that's actually, yeah, that does feel satisfying. See, here, when I live alone, every day I'm forced to evaluate myself. I'm forced to recognize things about myself that I like and dislike, things that I would want to work on, to improve. Whereas when I was home, my day was entirely, like, I was entertained for the entire day by random things, by family events. And when I wasn't entertained, I had other people to analyze. I would talk to my parents, like other family members, and I would analyze them, and I would, like, talk with them about random shit and their characters. That felt satisfying. You know, the first two, the interpersonal, like societal recognition, societal mirroring, like the Hegelian thing, and then the capitalist thing. These didn't quite feel good. This felt good. Yeah, I think that's the one. The first two are also important here. They also they are valuable. They are part of the interpretation. But this is the big one, I think. That at home, I didn't have to answer before myself, if you can even say such a phrase. At home, I could just be, and get, yeah, that's a good one, get validated through others. Like, other people were there to say, oh, that's amazing, wow, that's cool, without, about my experiences, not about something that I myself was, or maybe something that was relevant to the immediate, to my immediate reality. Yeah, that's a good one as well. What you are currently trying, for example, like I already said, to improve, to do about yourself, is your immediate reality. And this is the kind of reality that I base my judgment of myself on. Like, for example, I write something that I like, and I'm like, yeah, great. Or I do something that I don't like. I'm like, okay, I need to improve that. If it's something I like, I work in that direction more, it's gonna be even better. Whereas at home, yeah. It's like the thing at Day 9, if you know that guy, is a StarCraft, used to be StarCraft YouTuber and commentator. Now he does StarCraft 1 and Hearthstone or something like that. It's a game in YouTube. Go look it up. Day 9. Used to be a legend. Well, still is a legend. Used to be a legend. If you were a legend, well, you kind of are. So, Day 9, he said once, I don't remember what was the context, but he was making fun of people who brag, when I was 18, I used to be able to run a marathon or something like that, whereas now they're 40 and fat. So what that you were able to run a marathon, it's completely different thing. You cannot brag about it. That means nothing to anybody. That's not a part of you in a sports way. You can brag about that's my additional. He's just stopped making fun of those people. I say that yeah in general, but you can boast about that if you're well, I have very great personal perseverance and strength, I just can't do shit even to this day. You are 40 and maybe you're fat, but you are doing something that requires great perseverance, great resilience. Is there such a thing that requires you to be resilient, to just push through no matter what? Then yeah, you can kind of brag about this entire what do you call it, marathon event when you were 18, because that is still a part of your personality, and you can brag about it if you have improved since then. Oh, that was when I was 18, look at me now, I don't know, fucking whatever to write in my PhD, I don't know, the 5th PhD at 40. Who else did 5 PhDs at 40? Nobody but me. I don't know, whatever. Can you even do multiple PhDs? I guess you can. In different spheres or something like that. Okay, whatever. Not my point. Yeah, that's a good thing. At home, I was, this word again, validated for just my experience for something that just happened, or for my past. Like, I told stories of the military and everybody was like lol 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 lol, without a rhyme or reason to it. It was there was no need for interpretation, let's put it that way. I didn't do any interpretive work. I just was. I didn't have to be dynamic, if that even makes sense. But I think that does catch it. Yeah, I think that's the very good one. At home, I didn't have to be a live-in person. I would suffice as just fixated, there's this movie, what's the movie? I Am Robot, Will Smith, and there's this hologram of a guy, of a scientist guy, who recorded a couple responses to some questions and just put it in the machine. And Will Smith will go and ask him questions, and sometimes he's like, well, fuck, that's a stupid question, I don't know the answer. Go think better, Like, he had some questions he can answer and some questions he can't. And if a question was stupid, he's like, well, I don't know what you mean. That's a stupid question or whatever. That's kind of how I felt. Like, as a person, you change, you evolve at any point in time. That's another one. At any point in time, your value judgments about yourself matter. It is important to you to judge yourself. Like, not only your good sides, let's put it that way, but your flaws. Not only, like, your flaws are important in life, because your flaws are how you improve, how you move, how you get better. Like, have I said have I repeated myself enough? That's always my problem with, like, writing down talking. Just keep repeating random shit. So, yeah, and at home, the flaws, at least, like, at our home, the flaws kind of didn't matter. What mattered was, like, the good shit, Because think about it, like, are you gonna tell other people, like, your flaws? Are they even interested in you telling them about, like, I don't know, random little shit that you work on in your daily life and how you, like, try to improve? And what you suck at? No, that's not interesting, what you suck at. Nobody wants to know what you suck at, because I suck at also many things. I can value judge and say, well, for example, for me, it's unimportant that I suck at heavy weightlifting or whatever. It's important for me not to suck at, like, reasoning and shit and writing. This is something that I'm working on. But but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I think I found the one. That at home, what mattered was some good stories of the past, stories of triumph and great victories, and in general, like, that's how our stories work. If we think about how stories work, when people tell each other stories, Jordan Peterson always goes and rants about stories and how the hero and shit like that. That's what's important. The hero, like, the victor, the winner, the overcomer, I don't know, the underdog who won. But reality is dynamic. You never quite won. What is important in life is the losses. Great. Very English. Much English. are the losses, are the things that you are not good at. Because these are the things that you work on, and this is how you actually change. This is how you improve. This is where your dynamics come from. You know, there's this, I don't know where the quote is. Maybe it's not a quote, but just like a random thing. But I think it's a Curtis Kurzog YouTube channel. They referred to, I don't remember what's that. Is it Optimistic Nihilism video? Go check it out if you want it. Optimistic Nihilism, amazing video. I'll put the source in the description. I'm not optimistic though. I don't give a fuck. But that is nihilist. I'm not optimistic nihilist. I don't know. Or egoism. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. So they said that they said like that. At some point, the dynamic pattern that is you will stop being dynamic and like become static. They are of course talking about death. And I think that's a very good way to put it. And as I said, in life, the flaws, the value judgments you make of yourself that portray you as not good, as something that needs to change, to improve, is what fuels this dynamic pattern. Like, that's how you are alive. You are constantly changing. And why are you changing? Because there are things about you that you are not okay with. Like, for example, like the basic animal level hunger. You're hungry, and then you go ahead and eat. Now you're much better. You're no longer hungry. Or a more complex level of understanding, like higher level, you are stupid or ignorant about some topic. You go ahead and read it up, and now you're no longer ignorant or stupid or whatever. So yeah, and at home, I didn't feel that, you know. I felt like the only things that mattered were the stories. And the stories, they portray characters, not real people. Man, I'm 14 and this is deep. So yeah, that's it. Man, that was a long episode. 30 freaking minutes and more. Damn, dag nabbit. I try to do 10 minutes episodes like fucking PewDiePie. Suck my ass. That was not for PewDiePie. I have no preferences for him to do that. It's just general explanation of surprise about the length of the video that I'm just extending. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.